Now recognize Representative Stauber from the great state of Minnesota for 5 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair and Ranking Member Velasquez, for holding this hearing today. And thank you once again to Administrator Guzman for your attendance. With my time, I want to briefly walk through a concerning timeline. On March 7th of this year, the CEO of Funding Circle said that they were not going to retain the SBLC license and were not interested in 7A lending. They also revealed that they had not received a final license from the SBA, only an initial award. Less than 3 weeks later, on March 20th, you testified before the committee and contradicted the statements of Funding Circle's CEO, announcing that Funding Circle would begin lending soon. On April 1st, Senate Small Business Chairwoman Shaheen sent you a letter saying that she was troubled to learn that the SBA was still considering approval of the SBLC license in light of the CEO's statements and cautioned the SBA to not issue the license. What else happened on April 1st? Despite Funding Circle's own statements that they were never going to keep or use the license, and despite the concerns of Congress, the SBA finalized that license. Lo and behold, the company that said they weren't going to participate in 7A lending was telling the truth about their intentions, sold their U.S. operations in the summer, and surrendered the SBLC license back to the SBA in June. And here's the kicker. They never made one 7A loan. Instead of awarding one of the new SBLC license to a company that was willing and able to make loans, what Funding Circle did was hold the license captive for 8 months, never helping one single borrower. And Administrator Guzman, you aided that. That's the real story here. Not Funding Circle, but SBA's mismanagement of the process. The company said they would not retain or invest in the license, and you gave it to them anyway. The final piece of this timeline is that on August 9th, the SBA announced that beginning September 2nd, SBA's Office of Capital Access will accept more applications for licenses for both regular and Community Advantage SBLCs. Despite this most recent debacle, SBA is doing it again. You testified about a private company's intent, contradicting their own public statements. You doubled and even tripled down to Congress. Either you perjured yourself or you were really duped. This is a black eye on the agency and its decision-making ability, which has been scrutinized by members of this committee and the small business community since you became the administrator. Administrator Guzman, do you know the last time that the set-aside for oversight activities at the Office of Credit Risk Management was increased?
That the set-aside, excuse me?
The
Can you clarify that question, please?
Do you know the last time that the set-aside for oversight activities at the Office of Credit Risk Management was increased?
We have been increasing their resources. S&E, since the last time we met, has gone up to 45.
It was the last,
with 2 vacancies.
2014 was the last time it was increased.
We have increased their resources.
How
They have more
understaffed
people.
is the Office of Credit Risk Management since the SBLC expansion started last year?
Since we last spoke, we've increased from 35 to 45. So we have shored up because we need to increase competition.
In the
to
last
fill those
SBA,
gaps.
in the last SBA OIG report, it says the Office of Credit Risk Management is understaffed by 38%.
The entirety of
For
SBA.
over- excuse
sorry,
me.
I thought you were asking a question.
For over a decade, the SBA has underinvested and underprioritized human capital at the Office of Credit Risk Management, all while it has doubled the 7A loan program, putting American taxpayer dollars at risk. This recent expansion of SBLC licensing represents yet another example of three-letter agencies in Washington creating rules made by unelected bureaucrats with significant consequences for taxpayers and American small businesses. So instead of, helping small businesses, your agency is busy creating opportunities for waste. This isn't just bad policy. It's irresponsible policy for hardworking Americans who will be the ones paying for your mismanagement. Representative Guzman, I appreciate you coming here, and I've said this before, I think you're a really nice person. I don't know how far or how long you would last in the private sector. And I yield back.